Welcome to John Gillespie's Wisconsin's Waters and Woods. Today's show is being brought to you by the Pabst Brewing Company, PB Army, ASAP, by your Toyota dealer, I love what you do for me, Toyota, and by Gander Mountain, where serious sportsmen shop.
Throw a line in the water, just sit back and wait. Hope that a monster will come and crush your feet. The skies.
Welcome to Wisconsin's Waters and Woods. Well, folks, I'll tell you, if there's a good time to come up to northern Wisconsin, it's after Labor Day, and we're up in the Hayward area with our friend and guide, Pete Maina. And Pete, this is a fun time of year to fish up here, isn't it?
Yeah, I really like it. You know, I love the warm weather, and we're getting into the fall period too, so it's a good time of year to fish.
I noticed when I woke up this morning, it was 40 degrees outside. You got the cool nights, and your days warm up a little bit. Does that change your method of fishing or your lure selection at all?
Well, one thing about this time of the year is that you're really, you know, there's no set pattern to what you got to be using or where the fish are going to be. So you really got the whole gamut of lures. What I like is nice, warm, steady weather this time of year if I can, because then it's prime time for surface baits and bucktails and some big fish sometimes in shallow water. But we've got, it's going to be interesting because we can basically try anything today. It really is going to be an interesting day. We've had a cold front on up this. Water temperature's down from where it normally would be this time of year. And I think probably jerk baits and crankbaits are going to be best, but we'll just have to see.
Yeah, I know we're going to hang a sucker out too, which you like to do post-cold front. But let's talk a little bit about some of the baits that we use in early fall. Now, you got a Burt bait out here. Is the jerk bait of choice, right?
Yeah, well, shallow water now, you know, I should mention that we do have the weighted model out now, which we used on the last show, a prototype of, but the weighted model is available now in the stores. We're just getting that out, and of course that runs a little deeper. But in the weeds, we prefer the old shallow Burt that we've been using in previous shows, and that should be great today. Hopefully we'll catch some fish on that today. And surface baits, the old standby tallywhacker. Here's a new splash tail prototype we're working on.
You even got some bucktails out too.
Oh yeah, bucktails should be good. You know, one thing we try and do is you know, maybe try some big and then some little stuff. You know, you gotta try everything and see what's working. We really don't have a pattern to work with right now, so this is what we got to do. You know, we got to get out and try everything.
So I can change baits a lot today.
Yeah, you'll get to play.
Sounds good, buddy.
Okay.
I know we'll get some muskies, and I'll have this week's winners of the 1994 Pabst Blue Fishing Contest. All of that coming up right after this.
So, you enjoy watching those fancy beer commercials. Well, that's good, because a Clydesdale eats over 5 tons of hay a year. So every time you buy that beer, it's like you're treating a horse to dinner. But if you'd rather put your money where your mouth is, just say PB Army ASAP and have a Pabst. Because we don't spend a lot of money making fancy commercials. We spend it making great beer. And while some may not understand this philosophy, we're quite sure you will.
I'll bet right now your Toyota dealer can beat your monthly car payment. Know how? Easy. It's Toyota clearance time, so the 94s have to go to make room for the new 95s. And that means a great lease deal with a low monthly payment on 94 Camry. Or you can get 2.9% Camry financing. Imagine all this quality, all this car, and it's such a great deal. Get to your Toyota dealer. This deal won't last. It can't.
Amazing things happen at Menominee Casinos.
Once upon a time, winter meant hibernation. I couldn't get to work. My wife was stuck too, and Junior was clawing at the walls. So we 3 bears got 3 snapper snow throwers. A snapper for Junior, a snapper for Mama Bear, and 1 for me. Any size snapper goes through snow like a grizzly. Your family will be free and clear in no time and live happily ever after. Nuts to nuts and berries. We're going out for porridge.
See your local snapper dealer today.
Well,
Pete, what's going on here? You got a hit on a sucker already?
Got a fish running out here.
I'll reel this rod in for you.
Oh, missed him? Yeah. Darn it.
That's all right, but you had a quick strike rig on there, and he got the sucker, huh?
Yeah, he did. We waited a little too long on that, I think, but oh well.
Hey, you know, you and I have talked about this a lot of times, though, on that quick strike rig. Should we show the folks how to hook one of those suckers up on there?
Yeah.
Let me grab one for you. But that's neat action, man, and we've only been out here 10 minutes.
Yeah, well, you got to feed those fish once in a while.
But the quick strike rig, folks, is the type of rig that won't hurt the fish, and you can hit them right away. And we're going to show which is your live well here, Pete, with the suckers in them.
Right there. Yeah.
It's a great system, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
For releasing fish, too.
And I think it hooks just as many as any other way. You know, we missed a fish there, but
Here you go. Oops.
oh, easy, Junior.
There we go. Well, let's just go through this real quick here.
Now, first of all, you need the rig to rip free. You did notice when I missed that fish, everything ripped free of the sucker. That's the idea. And you got to rig them lightly here in the corner of the mouth.
Uh-huh.
Good enough so that the sucker can't wiggle off, but that when you set the hook hard, you want that hook to rip out.
Now, what's the piece of rubber for?
That's just to keep them on there.
Okay.
You know, when that soft part of their lip, when they struggle, they'll widen up that hole in their mouth, and if you don't have that rubber on there, the hook can fall back out. Now, this is a modified hook here that I do to rip out.
Right
okay,
here, is
that
it?
bend is on purpose. The fish didn't do that to it. What I do with that one is I slide it just underneath the skin here.
Not
on
too
the back
deep
of
either,
the
huh?
sucker. No, just underneath the skin and back out. What that does is it holds these two hooks up so that they can't bury into that sucker meat. So when I set the hook, it's guaranteed everything's going to move because this forces this up. It can't, no matter what happens, these hooks can't lay down and get into the meat of the sucker.
Okay. And with the quick strike rig, you don't have to sit there and say, oh, I got to wait 5 minutes or anything.
No, what we should have done, I didn't absolutely make sure that fish was moving away from me, and that's something we should have done really before we set the hook.
Hey, well, that's a good sign, huh? 10 minutes on the water and have a muskie like that?
Yeah,
Cool.
great.
Got
Easy
him.
now.
Pete,
easy.
I got one, Pete.
Hang on, big guy.
On the surface bait, finally, folks.
Yeah.
We've been fishing all day, and this is really the first legitimate hit I've had today.
All right.
On the hog wobbler, Pete.
Cool.
Not a big fish, but I'll tell you, after fishing all day, it's pretty exciting.
Feels pretty good, huh?
It's not a bad fish. No, it's not a bad fish.
It's a legal fish,
Yeah.
Johnny. About 34, 35 inches.
All right, folks. I'll tell you, that's what happens when you stick it out all day, though.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a nice fish.
No, it is. It's a nice
Sure.
fish.
Sure. He's
All
rolling
right,
around
man.
down there.
Oh, did he smack that bait, folks?
No wake or anything.
No, he just came up and hit it. He
You know
just
what?
came
He's
up and hit
bigger
it.
than 34, 35.
Yeah, yes, he is.
Yeah.
Folks, I'll tell you something, Pete, we got to talk about this. We have fished hard all day and haven't really had much action, and then bam.
No, not really. Not really.
All right, buddy. Now, can we
Hey.
turn the boat, maybe? I think we can get a better light on the other side so the folks can take a look at this fish.
All right. Yeah, I can spin her around here.
Whoa, whoa.
Hey. Yeah, that's better fish than I thought, John.
There we go.
That'll go 37 anyway.
Boy, was that fun, Pete.
Yeah. That
He
looked
just
neat.
nailed it.
That looked neat.
All right, he's not hooked all that well either, is he?
Nah, that's all right. You caught him now.
Right. Well, not quite. We can't quite call it a capture yet, can we?
Yeah, I'll measure him for you here and pop him off the
All right.
hook.
Whoa.
Easy, big boy.
There we go. There
Hey,
we
you want
go.
to hit your spool?
Sure. That's my first legal muskie, well, my second legal muskie this year.
Oh, yeah?
Well, I'm glad we stuck it out, Pete.
Yeah. Oh, he's drilled pretty. Yeah, he's got a good yap on him.
So what do you figure here?
I'm going to say 37.
If you can hold them out just a little bit. Yeah.
Ooh, 38 and a half.
38 and a half, huh?
Ah, I'm way off.
All right, man. Now, when you release it, you don't even like to bring them in the boat, do you?
Nah, this fish, there's no need to. He's got one hook right here,
Uh-huh.
which is, he's well hooked. He's just one, but.
So I set the hook okay, huh?
Yeah, well, you see, you got it drilled through that upper part. He's not even hooked with that one, but we got to get it out of there. There we go.
All right. Hold them up a little bit. All right, buddy. Way to go,
Nice
man.
fish,
Hey.
yeah. He's pretty.
All right.
Yeah, we'll let him get going.
What did
man.
you say, 38?
38 and a half.
Cool.
Yeah.
As we're running out of light here, one thing I do want to talk about, Pete, is we have gone through, you and I have fished a lot of muskies together, and this has been a rough day for us. We really
Yeah.
fished hard and didn't see much, but you said wait till that last half hour before daylight, before daylight runs
Thought
out.
you might have a shot with that surface bait. Now we did miss some fish today, but really we didn't have any follows, did we?
No.
I mean, it was either a couple strikes that we missed, and That was it. You know, we just had a fish miss the bait here a little bit.
And we got another whole day tomorrow too, buddy.
All
hey,
right.
give me 5, man. That's my, hey, good one on a hog too. Cool. Folks, I'll tell you something. This time of year when that sun sets over there, it gets dark fast. And Pete, I'll tell you something. We pulled that one out late today, didn't we?
Yeah, that's for sure.
But you know, I really want the folks at home to understand, even when you fish with the best, you're not always guaranteed muskies, you know? Pete, you got to work.
Yeah, sometimes it's tough. You got to work for them. Sometimes they hit quick, but most of the time you really got to put in your time to get a fish.
Now tomorrow we're going to change gears a little bit, and I know you have some lakes up in this area that we can still troll. We're going to try a little trolling tomorrow?
Yeah, we're going to try some forward trolling tomorrow on one of the lakes where it's legal. We're going to be on whitefish tomorrow, and we're going to try some casting later on in the day.
Sounds cool. This 16-foot Alumacraft back troller, powered by a 25-horsepower Mariner, has an aerated live well, locking rod storage, and pedestal seats. The Mariner features electric start and shallow water drive. It comes with a Shorelander roller trailer, all for $58.29, freight and dealer prep included. MW Marine has a complete service department and an indoor and outdoor storage facility. MW Marine, your full-service marine dealer.
Backwoods Buck, the complete hunting system developed by professionals. You can create a false sense of security for deer by matching the natural smell of the hunting area with Backwoods Buck mask scents. Then bring your trophy into range by instilling anger or sexual excitement with Backwoods Buck lures. The Backwoods system of products helps the hunter utilize a deer's territorial and sexual instincts to the fullest. For a successful hunt, choose the Backwoods system, the system that makes total sense.
Your Toyota dealer is making now the time to buy. It's clearance time, so the 94s have to go because the 95s are coming in. And that means you can definitely take it to the streets for way less. Get big option package discounts on Corollas and Tercels and huge factory-to-dealer incentives on 4x4s and 4x2s. Not to mention incredible lease deals on Camry. If I were you, I'd make tracks to your Toyota dealer. Fast Tracks.
Welcome back, folks. Well, it's day 2 up here in the Hayward area, and we're on Whitefish Lake today with guide Pete Maina. And Pete, we're going to do something a little different today. We're going to be trolling, and you're using planer boards and whatnot, but you got a couple of lakes up here in the Hayward area that you can still troll for muskies, huh?
Yeah, we've got several. Maybe I better shut this off right now. Yeah, we've got several lakes that allow forward trolling. They weren't affected by that back trolling law because they've always allowed forward trolling. And, you know, there's 4 right in Sawyer County, and then Bayfield County itself also, which we're not in. There's forward trolling allowed there.
This is an effective method of catching fish that otherwise you probably wouldn't have access to casting, right?
Absolutely. We're going to stay out in the open water today. That's what we're looking for, is open water fish. As far as I'm concerned, structure-related fish, I'm going to cast for them.
Right.
But these open water fish is really the only smart way to do this. You know, we're fishing real clear water today when people don't want to be on clear water. There's not a cloud in the sky, but we're looking for these fish that are suspended out in the middle of the lake.
Okay, as we go on today and hopefully catch a fish or two, we'll talk about the techniques and the baits, and we got a shot at a big one too, don't we?
Yeah, we do. There's big fish here and whitefish. So this is, you know, prime lake, good genetic strain, a lot of forage.
Well, let's get one, man.
All right.
Pete, something hit this thing.
Yeah.
I mean, folks, we've been on the water for what, a half hour?
About that, yeah.
You know, it's hard to tell how big it is, you know?
Yeah, it really is. It really is tough.
You know, what about the folks that think this trolling isn't sportsmanlike, Pete? What's your opinion on that?
Well, I tell you what, you know, casting's casting, and I prefer casting, but I tell you what, in order to troll right, it's not easy. It's not like it's a dummy thing.
No,
you know
there's
what
a
I'm
science.
Saying? You know, when you're running some lines, and a lot of people think this trolling hurts fish, and I don't believe that a bit, you know. They're not fighting that long.
Folks, it could be a walleye, too. Pete
Yeah,
was saying
it's not a big fish, but I think it's a fish.
Now, what was this bait here, do you know?
Let me see. That was a big slammer lure.
Oh, yeah, now we're getting some head shaking, guys.
Oh, there he is.
There he is.
Nice northern. Nice northern pike.
Holy cow, look at the size of that northern pike, folks. Wow.
Boy, is he pretty.
Is he a gorgeous pike? Look at how fat this guy is, man.
Oh, he just ate it.
Whoa. All right.
Wow.
Whoa, sorry about that.
He doesn't like me.
He was doing his little dance there. Hey, that's cool.
Wow.
That's a chunky pike. Now, folks, I'll tell you something. You would not have access to this fish casting. You just wouldn't.
That fish was over 50 feet of water.
50 feet, huh?
The lure running about, 18 feet down.
Now, do you change your depth? I mean, on your I know you're running 6 lines, Pete. Do you vary your depth?
Yeah, that's the idea. You want to try and vary your depth. And then, you know, of course, if you catch a few fish and you want to get a pattern to that, then you might switch a few more lures around to that same depth.
Okay.
Boy, this guy is...
Look at how chunky. Look at the coloring on that fish. It's just such a gorgeous fish. Is that because of the deep, clear lake that is so
these
pretty?
clear lakes are really pretty.
Now, folks, this is a jaw spreader, and I'll tell you, if you're going to muskie or northern fish, it's almost a mandatory
Yeah, folks, you can
tool.
see where that hook is, and without these spreaders right here, I'd have a problem. I just threw them in the lake, though.
Now, I notice you grab these fish behind the gills. Is that a good way to do it, Pete?
Yeah, with the ones that are smaller. You know, a larger fish, you can't grab them there. But
Boy,
that's a nice
pretty
pike.
fish. Yeah, that is a nice pike.
33-inch pike.
And chunky, too.
Oh, man, he's a dandy.
Is that a good sign, buddy?
See ya. Yeah,
That's a
you
good sign,
betcha.
huh? Now,
Hey,
you
we
can
weren't out here long.
No, and you saw bait fish on your graph, too, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, let's get back to it, folks.
Okay.
I like this trolling. Hey, what do I do here to get around this?
I'm going to turn for you. Just hang on.
Keep tension on him?
Yeah. Okay, he's coming around.
Now, folks, I'll tell you, this is a lot of fun. It's a real relaxing way to fish, and what I like is the opportunity for the big fish, and this is not a big one, but you're going to get an idea of the color of these fish out of a whitefish lake. They're really cool, aren't they, Pete?
Yeah. Look at that fish. Isn't he gorgeous?
Yeah. Neat, musky.
Yeah, and an Ernie, too. I got...
Whoa. Hey, there he goes.
Now you can see, folks, that this fish is not extremely worn out with this method.
Yeah,
And I think that's real important for people to know, that we don't drag these fish around the lake like some people claim. I really, you know, this fish has only been on the line for, I don't know, 2 minutes at the most.
Yeah, right.
You know.
Well, I'm shaking a little bit, buddy. That's fun.
Yeah. Well, we should tell the people that we were just having a line check to see if we had weeds on our lures, which is a good idea to check once in a while. And while we were doing that...
Oh, is that a gorgeous fish?
Isn't that beautiful?
Is that a pretty fish?
See how fat they are in here?
Yeah, that is. Just look at the color on those, how white the bottom is. Just beautiful.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, we were checking for weeds, man, and that thing hit. We had kind of a Chinese fire drill for a minute there. There we go.
But as you can see, he's okay.
He'll be fine. Let's talk a little bit about the type of baits we're using, Pete, down here. And I know that this is one of your new baits that's going to be coming out on the market pretty soon. It's called an Ernie?
Yeah. Since we had the bird out already, we had to come out with an Ernie. We had too many requests. But yeah, diving lure, 7 inches long, including the lip. Nice tight wobble and good depth. It runs about 13 on the cast. Get it down to 30 on the troll if you want to. But it's interesting too, now that fish hit in 65 feet of water, and I only let that lure out to where it was running about 14. That was right next to the boat. So that's what, you know, people don't understand, that sometimes you're in great depths of water, but the fish aren't necessarily way down.
Right.
You know, they can be suspended up high.
Well, we can take a look at the locator here, folks, and what Pete's seeing is various bait fish down here, right? Now, I don't know if we can get a shot
I don't know
of
if
this.
the camera can pick that up or not.
These are the bait fish, huh, that are suspended?
Yeah, anything that you see, and then in different areas in the lake today, I've seen bait as shallow as 10 feet down.
Really?
So, you know, this is the thing, the muskies will come up above, and a lot of folks know about the thermocline. You get a thermocline in the summer, and the level below that thermocline, there's not enough oxygen, so you know the muskies aren't down below that level, which in this lake right now is about 40 feet.
Hey, and man, I'll tell you what keeps me going on this method is we got a chance for a big fish.
Yeah, we sure do.
It.
We sure do.
So, you enjoy watching those fancy beer commercials. Well, that's good, because a Clydesdale eats over 5 tons of hay a year. So every time you buy that beer, it's like you're treating a horse to dinner. But if you'd rather put your money where your mouth is, just say PB Army ASAP and have a Pabst. Because we don't spend a lot of money making fancy commercials. We spend it making great beer. And while some may not understand this philosophy, we're quite sure you will.
Grab onto your seats, folks. Your Toyota dealer is about to save you some serious money. It's clearance time at your Toyota dealer, so all 94 trucks have got to go. So now you can get an incredible lease on a 4x2, and that means a low monthly payment. Talk about taking it to the streets for less. Plus, big factory-to-dealer incentives and option package savings on T100s, 4x4s, 4x2s, and 4Runners. Now's the time to get to your Toyota dealer. I'm serious.
Oh my, look at that one. Whoa. Holy cow. Let me see if I can get the troll right by the side of the boat. Right by the side of the boat, Pete. Look at him, Pete, look at him. Whoa. See a decent fish? Yeah, it's about 40 inches, I think, 38, 40. Yeah. All right, man, wow. Whoa. Wow. Dude. Hey, that's a nice fish. All right, man. Right by the side of the boat. I think you were just saying you were going to angle something up on that. I told Tim to turn the camera on, have it ready. Nice. Whoa. Pretty fish. Pretty fish. Hey, good job, buddy, huh? Catch him trolling, catch him casting. Is that great? Folks, there is nothing like catching a muskie on a surface bait, is there, Pete? All right, man. Now, that's about 38, isn't it? Yeah, I'd say. Whoa. They're just gorgeous fish here in Whitefish Lake, you know that? Yeah, they're just beautiful. This clear water, I love it. That was in 15 feet, do you think? Where he hit the bait. He came out from about 12, I'd say. But yeah, see, that's, in the clear water, I think that's something I should mention quick. You know, folks, you fish a little deeper. You know, you think, a lot of people think, you know, 4 or 5 feet of water being shallow. Well, out here, 15 feet of water is shallow. Yeah. Hey, that was cool, wasn't it? Yeah, that was great. I just saw him coming right before he hit. Did ya? He didn't wake at all. No, I just saw a flip of his tail. Folks, I'll tell you, I said to Pete, about a half hour ago, we were trolling. I said, hey, let's end our summer, you know, casting. And he said, well, we got a chance of getting one, and heck, we did. Yeah, well, it's a nice night for it. It finally warmed up here for us. You know, we've had that cold front situation we talked about. Can you hold them up for us? Boy, that's a beauty, huh? Isn't that great? God. Hey, I'm on a good muskie tear the last 2 days, man. Well, we better get them back, huh? All right. Boy, nice stocking fish, John. Beauty. Pete, what about using surface baits now? Can you use them well into the month of September? Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, I've even heard of people using them in October and catching fish. So, generally, as a general rule, this time of the year, though, warmer weather, you know, when to use a surface bait. I'm still shaking a little bit, man. You know? That's pretty exciting, man. All right, and we still got this whole little bay here. We can cast the rest of this, can't we? Yeah, all right. Hey, Pete, I want to thank you, man. I'll tell you, another great trip up here. And you warned me before we came up that the cold front was going to affect the fishing, but heck, you always catch fish, and we proved that the last 2 days, got some nice fish. But one thing you wanted to mention about trolling, it's not always an automatic method or an easy method like people think it is it? No, I tell you what, you know, a lot of people think it's an automatic, and I'll tell you what, I spent a lot of days where I've trolled all day long and not caught a fish. You know, yeah, we got a lot of lines in the water. You know, we were running 6 lines today. And we really only had 3 strikes. So, and to me, that's about an average day. Now, you know, there's times when you're going to do better, and there's times when you're going to get skunked, just like casting. But I think people should understand that nothing's automatic, whether it's casting or trolling. Well, hey, I want to thank you for the 2 days, and looking forward to coming back up in November for some late fall fishing, okay? Yeah, maybe we'll get the big guy then. For more information on fishing muskies in the Hayward area, give Pete Maina a call. That phone number is 715-462-3952. And that is our show for today. Please join us next week as we head up to Marinette, Wisconsin to fish for northern pike. Until then, I'm John Gillespie, hoping to see you enjoying Wisconsin's waters and woods.
For your next video project, call Universal Productions International. Today's show has been brought to you by the Pabst Brewing Company, PB Army, ASAP, and by your Toyota dealer. I love what you do for me, Toyota. And by Gander Mountain, where the serious sportsman shops.
The skies have been